I'm Lance Yelvington for CyberCountry. Lee Greenwood has built a career on his pride in being an American. In this CyberCountry Minute, Lee's going to tell us about a new book that he's written for children called Proud to be an American, as he tries to pass that legacy of his pride in America on to the children of next generations.
When Kim, my wife, and I had kids, they're 20 and 16 now, we felt it was important to teach them to read. So at the ages of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, before they went into grammar school, we would sit in a rocking chair and have them sit in our lap. Or on the floor, which was comfortable to be on the floor with a kid who crawls, and read a book. I mean, you can give them any number of toys. You give them a fire truck or an airplane, and they recognize what that is, and they get familiar with the things around them and understand what they are, and then they can form the word eventually of what it is. With a book, it opens up an amazing place of fascination and imagination. And as we read some of the books to them, Goodnight Moon and Red Dog, and they get familiar with animals and insects and objects. It's funny, we look back and we said, we never read them a patriotic book. And it's my belief that if you start early enough, and in this era, as we're changing in America so much to be citizens of the world and forgetting about the sovereignty of our country, if you start when they're 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, by the time they're 25 or 30, there'll be more of a unity feeling, a secure feeling about the country around them as a protection of their freedom. And I think we've missed that. And so that's why we're releasing Proud to be an American, which is our new children's illustrated book.
Now, when you were coming up with the ideas for this book, how long did it take you to think, this is something important I ought to throw my weight behind?
Well, it's the lyrics of my song, God Bless the USA. That's simple. How do we display that? That was more important. How do we describe the pictures of the United States, the vastness of the geography of the country, and the subtle message that freedom isn't free? And one of the lines of my song is, I won't forget the men who died, so we show Arlington Cemetery, of course. And the immense graveyard of soldiers who paid the price. And that's just one. But beyond that, parades, fun stuff, naturally. But there's a grandparent that's a theme of the book. And the reason I chose that is because I was raised by my grandparents on a farm in California. And we put also a grandmother in the picture. But it's basically a grandfather and his son, a grandson, or it could be a parent and a younger boy. And he's showing him the lessons of patriotism throughout the book. And I think that very simple thread throughout the book is what interested me the most. Mm-hmm.
Now, the thing I liked about it, too, was that, because it's like you have that family background there, and that's instant identification for most of us that have had that kind of, real experience in learning from our elders. But what kind of reaction have you had from other people that have seen your book?
Well, the book is pretty new. We've had some test cases where one of my neighbors has has twin boys, a pair of twins. That's really good. Has twin boys, and they're 2 years old. And so as they began to read the book to them, there's a page with a flag on it, and one of the little twins went like a little miniature salute, immediately recognizing that's something you respect, is the flag. And I know the Supreme Court years ago, this is when we had the invasion of Panama. President Bush sent me down there to do shows. And at the time, there was an issue about desecration of the American flag. And President Bush, one of the things he said to me is, don't talk about that right now. He said, we'll deal with that situation later. And as it turned out, the Supreme Court ruled that it is not a felony to disgrace the flag. I had a real trouble living with that. I still do. And particularly you ask a military family who's lost a son or a daughter in military service, they'll have trouble with it too. So I guess maybe that's one of the reasons.
Yeah. Well, I mean, especially nowadays too, where you've got a lot of people that have lost that sort of foundation of American history that really have no respect for stuff like that. So I think probably it would be important for people to identify more closely, especially if you're a kid, with the information that's in that book.
Well, if you talk about history, let's go back to the signing of the Declaration of Independence. Those people were not military. They were citizens of the United States. God Bless the USA is now in the Homeland Security film for people who become citizens in the United States. They hear the national anthem, naturally, Star Spangled Banner, the President's speech, welcoming them to the country, God Bless the USA, which is licensed to them, from me. They take the oath to the country and surrender the flag of their host country and become an American citizen. A lot of people then will recognize just through the song "God Bless USA" that we're patriotic about it, that we love our country, and we're not just Italian American, we're not just Polish American, we're not Russian American, we're an American first. And that's part of why I said I'm proud to be an American, because I'm proud of who we are.
So, what's the next step for the book now? Where do you want to see it?
Well, I think getting it into schools is important. We will do the New York Book Show, we'll do the Christian Book Show in Orlando. There'll be a book tour across America. It's available on my website, Barnes & Noble, Books A Million, and Amazon, all places you find books. But beyond that, I think the Department of Education, if it gets involved and get it into schools, it'll be a tool and ammunition for, that's a bad word, it'll be a tool for teachers to play, to show to their kids that they teach and give them lessons of patriotism.
So, right now, do you have anything else going on besides book tour or anything else like that you can tell us about?
Well, in addition to my normal touring schedule with my agency APA in Nashville, and I tour all across the United States, most of the world, to tell you the truth, and the book tour that we're doing as well, signing books and getting this product out, we have 3 or 4 music projects. One just released called "I Want to Be in Your World," where I wrote 3 of those 7 songs, one of which was written by Michael McDonald and Kenny Loggins, and Michael McDonald plays piano on it for me. That's pretty cool. "You Can Let Go Now" is the title of that. A new CD released by Sony called Snapshot, and it's several of my hits and some of their catalog that's all pop standard songs. The Games People Play from Joe South, I'm Busted from Ray Charles, Time After Time by Cyndi Lauper, and some things because my background is more jazz and R&B, so we have that project. I'm also writing a new country album, and I've just been in the studio this week writing one of the new songs I wrote called Liberty Bell. So we don't ignore the music. We stay with that. Again, I'm Lee Greenwood, and I want to thank you for visiting CyberCountry. If you want to find our music or our new book, Proud to Be an American, you'll find it on my website first, leegreenwood.com, and then go to Books A Million, Barnes & Noble, Amazon. Sure to get it from Amazon. Thanks.